I am given videos to watch, and I watch them. I was asked in the comments if I'd be willing to watch a non-Uma Musume based horse, and I said sure. If people want to recommend me things, I'll watch it. Doesn't matter to me. I don't know anything about this horse, but hey, I'm here to learn, so let's do it.
You'd never get tired of talking about a horse like that, which was a sort of a life-changing experience for us.
See the stars, this shining star.
He had it all.
Let me know if
No
the video's too
weakness.
loud.
Pace, physique, and he had that really winning attitude.
But see the stars, the champion he is, strides to glory.
Just the sheer pleasure of training him and the sheer pleasure of just looking at him every day. And, it was an effort to leave the stable to go on to the next one, because he was just such a joy. It was a wonderful experience to train a horse like that. I mean, as a 2-year-old, as I said, he looked promising, but we've all had promising horses that didn't measure up. But when he started fast work, and Michael Kinane rode him early on, he gave a very good report. And so we were immediately a bit relieved and looking forward to his development. And as the year went on, of course, he changed shape a bit. He grew longer during the spring and early summer. And then he went on and he won his maiden by...
I wonder, is there a downside to a long horse? Wouldn't that be better because you have longer strides? I don't know enough, though, why that is a negative or a positive.
4 lengths. And then at the end of September last Sunday
Oh, maybe they could get more back injuries if they're longer. I didn't think about that.
in September, he won the Beresford Stakes here, which is a good 2-year-old race that we always liked. His behaviour changed. He was a horse that anybody would ride during the early part of his 2-year-old career. But as he developed and got stronger and got the idea of racing, he was a really energetic horse. You had to be really careful with him. He's so big and strong. If he threw a little bit of a jump and a kick just for fun, which
Oh, he got picky. He didn't just let anyone ride him when he got older. He was selective.
is what he did, just for fun, it'd take a good rider to sit on him.
Was it the greatest 3-year-old season of all time?
Undoubtedly. He never missed a dance.
Set for the Guineas. And they're racing.
It was probably the most significant of all his wins in many ways, because he got a temperature on the 17th of March, 103, quite a high temperature. Not many horses would have got over that. So it was an achievement for him to actually run in the 2000 Guineas.
Just behind the leading group on the
look
near
at him
side
go.
is See the Stars.
And luckily then he was able to go there and didn't look his best, but he won comfortably. Proved he could win at a mile, which is very important.
See the Stars comes at him. They settle down to fight it out as they hit the rising
Oh,
ground.
they're neck and neck.
Delegator and See the Stars.
But
See
he's
the
pulling
Stars
ahead.
going home slightly the
Oh,
better.
he
And
got
See
it.
the Stars wins the Guineas for John Ox
Yep.
and Mick Kinane.
I think we were lucky we had a 5-week interval to the Epsom Derby that year, and he needed it
That was-
probably because the
That was cool that second place patted the other guy's back. That was a nice little bit of showmanship there.
Guineas could have taken something out of him.
And they're off and racing.
But Derby was great. It was great to watch it. He was in lovely position all the way. There was a nice pace, and he travelled down to the furlong marker more or less on the bridle.
Golden Sword being gathered in by See the Stars. Now the stamina questions will be answered inside the final furlong. See the Stars.
at 'em go.
From Fame and Glory, Rip
Look
Van
at 'em
Winkle.
go.
Late on the scene down the outside. See the Stars will complete the Guineas and Derby double.
Distance didn't
Ooh,
matter.
that other horse came running in, but he couldn't pull any further ahead. That was good, though.
It was a mile or a mile and a half or anything in between, it just didn't matter. He had all the speed in the world and great acceleration, great enthusiasm. We brought him here, then we thought we'd run him, of course, in the Irish Derby, but it rained a lot on the Friday afternoon. So we took him out, but because we had him in the Eclipse Stakes at Sandown the following week, he was taking on 4-year-olds, older horses for the first time, coming down in distance.
See the Stars sits in fourth, the yellow jacket Mick Kinane.
He was taking on more good horses though, like Rip Van Winkle, who was second, who won the Sussex Stakes on his next start by several lengths.
Here comes See the
Oh, he's in the big boy leagues now.
Stars in the hands of Mick Kinane, and he's going to have to commit pretty early here.
He hit the front too soon that day, and he was sort of pulling himself up until Rip Van Winkle joined him, and then he went again. Broke the track record, so that was great.
See the Stars by half a length to Rip Van Winkle. He's beating off Rip Van Winkle. They race up to the line. See the Stars.
Wait, is he gonna
the
win it?
shining star. See the Stars.
Wow.
So we decided to miss
Went in with the big boys and still won.
the King George and waited for York, and thought I had him in good form for that. It was a funny race. There were only 4 runners, 3 of them from Aidan O'Brien.
And the pacemakers go on 1 and 2. Johnny Murtagh sitting ahead of Mick Kinane.
And he had to slip through 2 of the pacemakers behind Aidan's horse, which is kind of looked a risky move on Michael's part, but it worked out fine.
We'll see the Stars.
Oh, he broke through. I was about to say, are they going to box him in? But he just found an opening.
Comes through between them as well and is absolutely cantering.
So he won nicely in the end, but Michael said to me afterwards in the winners enclosure, he said, oh, you know, he needed the run. I thought I had him pretty fit, but anyway, he said he'd come on for the run. He had a good blow pulling up, but he still managed to break the track record, you know.
See the Stars beginning to get up.
Every single race, he broke the record. He broke the record. I can see why people recommended this horse. Very, very, very powerful.
On the near side, oh, every inch a champion and a fabulous 4-timer. See the Stars wins the Judd Monte International.
Great horses like that too, they're not bothered by distance, you know, they're much more adaptable than everybody thinks, and they don't stop because they have this superior cardiovascular system. So he could have run in the St. Leger and been a Triple Crown winner, but the owners weren't keen. We had the Irish Champion Stakes there that same weekend, and
I was about to say, why not go for the Triple Crown? But, well, he just said that they didn't feel like it. Good enough, I suppose.
it was obviously a more prestigious race to win.
Well, there you go. They viewed this race as more prestigious, so that's why they didn't go for the Triple Crown.
But there you are. If you said to me 40 years ago when I started training that I would bypass the chance to win the Triple Crown without batting an eyelid, I'd have said, God, you're crazy.
It set sail from Master Craftsman. Fame and Glory has moved up. See the Stars comes after him.
But there's no doubt the Irish Champion Stakes being an all-aged race, and coming in September, it's got a great date in the calendar there, 3 weeks before the Arc, but he was electric that day. He really won quite smoothly, and for once he sort of drew away a bit, which he didn't normally do. He never bothered to extend himself once he got to the front.
The big three had run right away from Brandon Powell.
But see the Stars, the champion he is, strides to glory.
Look at
Further
that.
glory in the Irish Champion Stakes.
Comfortable win.
And yes, it was nerve-wracking as the year went on. There's no other way to describe it. It was a big responsibility to train a horse like that, a big responsibility to make sure he won. He had to win. He had to win all his races. I didn't want him to be like Nijinsky and lose at the last hurdle. So it...
Oh, man. Can you imagine the pressure you have to be under if you have a constant winning horse? You're going to have all these people that just expect you to win. And if you even get second place, they're going to look at you as if you've done something wrong or as if your horse can't compete anymore. The pressure has to be pretty crazy.
It was nerve-wracking as we got closer and closer to the Arc. It can be a tricky race, the Arc, you know. See the Stars, we didn't have any pacemaker for him, and we just had to settle him. He was quite an aggressive racer, and that day in the Arc, the early pace maybe wasn't breakneck for the first furlong or two, and he got a bump from a horse who just came past him well as Mick was trying to settle him, and it set him off a little bit.
Oh, he got mad.
Avec Caesar Stars qui tirait beaucoup en partant et qui a perdu pas mal de terrain se retrouve maintenant.
And everybody was saying, oh God, what's wrong today? And he had to pull him back then a bit further than was plan A, so he was kind of at plan C, and he was well back, and everybody was saying, God, he can't win from there,
Things went a little
He fell far behind. Wow. There's no way he's going to pull back and win that, right?
wrong. I sort of have had a look coming off the home.
He's also stuck in the middle of the pack, too, so he has to not only break through, but also charge to the lead. I don't think he's going to pull this
Stretch maybe
win.
to get out a bit, and then I just didn't see and wanted to have a run on my inside, so I better close that door.
And then I was anxious to turn into the straight when they just went around the bend.
He broke
they
through.
were straightening up.
I was following Oliver Pellier, and he kicked for a gap ahead, and I was able to loop him before he got there. So
Oh, that was nice. He took that little opening as soon as that other horse pulled ahead. That was really good.
that was a huge run by my horse to make.
And when he did that and got through the gap, I breathed a sigh of relief.
Avec Stacelita qui maintenant est lancé par Christophe Soumillon. Et Daremy qui vient de cavalerie gagne également.
And then pulls in the lead after. That is crazy. That is seriously insane. This is a powerful horse.
Avec Caesar Stars qui a maintenant trouvé l'ouverture.
And I needed
Final
to find
stretch.
that 5 lengths. He found it in 3 strides, and he was out.
It was a pretty spectacular final couple of furlongs.
Caesar Stars qui vient très fort prendre l'avantage. Avec Payman Glory, Youssef également qui tente de se rapprocher. Caesar Stars qui s'envole vers les étoiles.
He's got a pretty comfortable lead. Man.
And yeah,
That is a crazy comeback win. That is super impressive. For him to not only have to fall back because he got bumped by the horse and had to kind of calm his horse down, being able to squeeze through the gaps, pull back out of the middle of the pack, squeeze in the opening once that other horse pulled ahead, then charge and have the power to push through to first, and not only that, but pull ahead and stay ahead. That was impressive.
you know, it's always the same. You don't jump 6 feet in the sky with jubilation. You just breathe a sigh of relief.
I can imagine.
And then when he was pulling up, this is the amazing thing Mike Canaan said. One of the other jockeys, Christophe Soumillon, came up alongside to clap him on the back and congratulate him. And the horse thought, oh God, it's not over yet, and he took off.
My guy is usually, when he got by the window post, he's gone to sleep. And next thing, he arrived up and patted me in the back, and next thing, the race wasn't off. And he ran away with me to the top of the backstretch to the 7th furlong gate. So it just goes to show what he had left.
So that was it. That was his
He
last
just wanted
run.
to race
Maybe
some
his
more.
best run, you know. Well, biggest relief anyway to win the last and win all 6 and 6 months, you know. So, you know, did we have a plan to win all those races with him? Well, when he won the Guineas and the Derby, you know, that's always the holy grail. If you can win those two, you know, you really think you've got a potential great horse. But of course, it can't stop at that. To be a great horse, he has to win the rest of them. He has to run up a sequence of big races. We knew he had the ability to win. We knew he was
Definitely.
versatile to do the different distances. And if we could just keep him healthy and well, fit and sound, that he could do it. I'm sure it's great to see a great horse like that who has had a great pedigree. You know, he wasn't sort of a fluke in genetic terms. He was a great horse, which is what he was bred to be. It's a relief then when they can pass it on. You expect them to do it, don't you? But it doesn't always happen. But he just had such a tremendous temperament, and he passes that on to a lot of his stock, you know. And I was waiting for him to get a champion miler because he was a champion miler himself. He was a Guineas winner. Finally, to get Baaid was terrific, you know.
But Baaid, oh,
The
this
power,
horse has
man.
got gears that other horses do not possess.
Well, from a professional satisfaction, you know, it was great. The owner, Christopher Choi, and his mother just said to me, you know, you train that horse like you own him yourself. All round, you know, it was a pleasure. You know, it was nerve-wracking towards the end, but it was a great pleasure to train a great horse like that, and such a great character. You know, with such great temperament and such a wonderful athlete to just observe. You know, and have the pleasure of doing that every day.
Man. That was really, really good. Thank you for recommending that to me to watch. Let's drop a like, and we'll also drop a sub on that. I enjoyed that quite a bit.